Okay, I've knit all of it, decreased it, and now I have one stitch between the markers. Can you see that? One stitch, one stitch. So 3 on this cable needle, 3 on that cable needle. You can also, well, I don't know if you can tell until I'm finished with it, but you can see that there's a line. The decreasing makes this line, and when I finish it, you'll see there's like a little star. When you get to the point where you have like one stitch between the markers, in yours I think you're going to have 8 stitches. I'm not sure if you divide it so that there's 8 different or 10 different, but I can't remember now. Anyway, what you're going to do, take a decent length, you know, something that you can work with, 8-10 inches, and thread a needle. I believe I'm sending you some. Probably should have sent some before as far as you weaving stuff in. Large-eyed needle. What you're going to do is you're going to be taking those stitches off just like you're going to knit them. So here's the end. The last stitch worked. Notice my tail is here. That means it's the end of the row. Where's the last stitch? It's on the back. Here's my needle. And all I'm going to do, take them off and put them on the needle. Drop the marker on the needle. Marker. And you noticed I knit or decreased all the way up. This is, oh, what size yarn is this? DK or something? I don't think it's sport, but anyway, a lot thinner than what you're using. But all this way, and I have no problems with the needles slipping off my work that holds them securely. No problems. And the last stitch. Okay, you got them all in there? And here's what you normally do. Here's the first one. I always go through the first one a second time. Just helps as far as any sort of gapping. Put the needle in the center, through it, and pull as hard as you can. And look, it closed up. And you can see the little star kind of makes. Okay, and then you take it through the other side and you just weave it in. Now, I didn't show you how to weave in things before. You can weave in this way, you know, going through, follow the pattern of the purl stitch or whatever, you know, back there. It's one of the ways to weave in. If you're really working something, some little gap here, but anyway, if you're weaving in something that really does matter, or it's difficult to weave in, or you're afraid the yarn is going to come back out at you, what I do is I split the plies. Of course, that one yarn you had was one ply. You couldn't really do that, but well, you might have been able to. I don't know. So you split it all up. So you see I've got all these different plies here. And what I do is I like to get them out so that they're nice and loose and kind of almost fuzzy. You know, you're really working it. And then take 2 of them, put them through your needle again. And then I go in different directions. And the other thing I do is I split the seeds I'm stitching it into. I go ahead and split the yarns in the back. And the reason I do that is that it's really becomes more and more undetectable. It becomes part of that piece of yarn that you're splitting. Other piece. There we go. See? And then I go down so many, whatever, and then I turn around and I go back the other direction for at least 3 or 4. And if you do that, your yarns don't poke out, and they become part of the piece itself. And I just, you can weave almost anything in undetectable that way. See? And then go back, you know, the same, but make sure you don't, you know, split it all and what have you, and that anchors it. And the other thing I do when I'm weaving in, as I'm weaving in, when I go in one direction, I then stop and I stretch it. And then I go back the other direction and stretch it so that the ends, and then after you weave in so long, you just cut it off. You know, I'll just leave that one for later. The bottom is the same way. I would weave that in, I'd split the yarn, and I would weave it in 2 different directions. I'd go this way and I'd go the other direction. But there it is, a little tiny hat. So if I can make one this small using those needles, and see, look around this whole hat. You cannot tell up here, look, you cannot tell where the edge was. You can tell right now because of the tail that this was actually one of the places that was split between